Welcome back. Happy Wednesday afternoon. If you're watching us live, we are here today. We are bringing back a show favorite, Al Levy, who is the founder of 7 Power Contractor. And we're going to be getting into just one of those systems today. But this is a topic that while everybody thinks it's new, it's not new. It's been around for a long time, especially as the industry has shifted where it's not as popular. There's not as much things in school to talk about contracting trades, woodworking, automotive, stuff like that. But we're going to talk about finally having all of the great technicians you ever wanted. So it's definitely something that I think is going to be very valuable. And Al always brings some really great information to both our Facebook group and also to the podcast episodes he's been a part of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of those things where we always are saying, yeah, we need more people. We need more technicians. We need more qualified people. But then do we do what we need to do to make sure that happens? And most of the times the answer is no. But now with today's episode, you can say without a shadow of a doubt, you'll know whether or not you're doing what you need to be doing because there's no questions with Al. He comes to you flat out and doesn't sugarcoat it, which is what we need, honestly.
Well, but my favorite is when you see these posts now, like, I don't know if it's been the last like 6 months, everybody just keeps offering a bigger sign-on bonus. Like I see it constant. Oh, I'm offering like 5,000 here and 10,000 here. And I'm like, man, you're going to go broke. That's a lot of money.
It's tough to
try to like, well, when you're trying to essentially bribing people to come work for you. And
I mean, my thing is what happens when the market shifts, when everything's not throwing money at these industries, then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
Well, that's not the only driver of bringing people into your business. Like, money's important. It's one of the things, but it's not especially today, like, it's not the most important thing. Flexibility, some of these other things, in which I'm sure Al will get into a little bit, but there's so many other important factors that we're not looking at. We think, oh, we just throw more money, people, they'll come our way. Or I just need that problem. I need one more experienced guy and then I can get out of a truck. But we can get into it and have Al give us some insights today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you looking for valuable business advice to reach that 7-figure revenue mark? Do you want actionable tips to properly navigate through every business challenge you encounter along the way? Let Tersh Blissett and Josh Crouch be your guide in getting you to the top here at Service Business Mastery. Tune in as they sit down with world-renowned authors in business, leadership, and personal growth who share valuable insights about management, marketing, pricing, human resources, and so much more. Let their nuggets of wisdom gold guide you in owning a thriving, profitable, and ever-growing business. Here are your hosts, Tersh and Josh.
Hey, Al. Welcome
back.
How
you doing? I was just popping to the music. Sorry.
We try to do that when we need a little pick-me-up.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then, of course, at the end, I saw my best friend, Ellen Rohr, in the setting there. So, yeah. So shout out to you.
We got her at the end.
Listen. Hey, guys, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate this second opportunity to share with the audience because I'm going to catch my breath here. I hate that you keep complaining about you can't find all the techs you need.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and keep it clean for a New Yorker and go, no freaking kidding. Because my brother Richie and I tried for years to do that. And what we did instead was what you do. We pirated your staff. Yeah. We would actually go to training, not just for the training. We would try to steal your text that you sent to the training.
Hang out at the supply house and try to
yes, and the supply house, we used to pay off the people. Well, excuse me, people who look like us used to pay off those people to give us the leads about the unhappy techs. So I know what it's like. I know why you do it. It seems like an easier route, but I'm going to tell you, if it worked, my brother Richie and my brother Marty and the rest of it, we would never have stopped.
Right.
It was one day I will share a very turning point moment.
So
don't look at the screen for a second, because I was about 25, 30. Me and Richie are sitting in an audience and there's a speaker on the stage. and he says the average age of the tech is going to be 50 years old, 50. And me and him look at each other and we go, are you kidding me? I said, 50 years old. What? So we just freaked out. And we went home and we built our first hands-on training center. We were so proud of it. I trained my own guys and, got them up on it. And it was great until 1 year later. And Richie's out in the field and he'd be calling me up and go, didn't you show these guys motor rotation? I go, I did. And then he'd call me up and go, didn't you show them how to check polarity and stuff like that? I go, Richie, I did, but they've been out in the field for a year and they're disconnected. So that's what caused us to go back to what you guys already know, the operating manuals.
Mm-hmm.
And so we created the operating manuals so they had something to hang on to. Here's the horrible thing. When we got done looking at the operating manuals, we're looking at our training center and go, oh my Lord, we built it all wrong.
Oh no.
Because within the manuals tells you what they need to learn in the training center. The tasks are all listed that they have to be able to be taught, trained, and then be able to sell. So they do sales, operation technical if they're a service tech, and communication operation technical if they're an installer. And if they do both, they're trained both of those things. So we had to redo it. And so then we're thinking, okay, well, we missed the third piece. Is you need training curriculum and you need to become your own best trainer to be able to take them to these things. Here's the jolly good news is that once we mastered this, we were able to take on more trades. So we originally started in heating, but then we could add a module for plumbing, for gas heating, which was not what we were doing, air conditioning, and then finally electrical, and master those trades and take willing apprentices with no skills to willing great techs with great skills.
How long of a time process did that take?
So once it was all done, everything that I described here, and once we became great at all the rest of it, and this is what I've taught clients from coast to coast, Canada. And so this is not like, oh, I don't want to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
Well, you are not. And I've been out of my own business for 20 years and they're still kicking butt.
Yeah.
I cleaned it up for you guys on Long Island. And so, yeah, what it is we take a willing apprentice. There's a much bigger pool of young willing apprentices with no skills than there is of the magic one we always look. Richie and I used to nickname it
unicorn.
No, lightning in a bottle is what we call, but unicorn works today.
Yeah.
Trying to staff yourself up by catching these great willing people that have great skills in a bottle. Try doing that all day, which is what we tried to do.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
So
well, that's ideal, but
that is ideal, but it's impossible. And so the point that I'm getting back to is a great question, which is we did the 5 steps of staffing power, which I'll come back to, is we could take a willing young apprentice, and we were selective because there was a bigger pool as to who we wanted, and have them spend 60 to 90 days with us, because anybody can fool anyone for 30 days.
Sure.
But after 30 days, they will show you who they are. Now, my training was very valuable. I had to sign off to come to it, volunteer. And so, because they were moving up that org chart, as you guys remember last time I was talking about, there's an org chart. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to come to that training because they don't want to be an apprentice for life. And I won't let them. I don't care how good an apprentice you are, because you're blocking the gateway in our company.
Yeah.
You got to become an apprentice to a junior tech to a senior tech. And then you can earn that last phase 3, which is senior tech to field supervisor. And then I got more boxes than that, frankly. We had 1 hub and 3 spokes, and that was just on Long Island. So 60 to 90 days, you earn your way to class. You got great marks from everybody else that we worked on because I rotated you around. They taught you some basic skills because I don't have the time. You go to class typically Tuesday, Thursday, 5 to 7 at night. Some guys like to do it on Saturday in a 4-hour block. Don't make your training longer than 4 hours. You are absolutely wasting your time.
And you mean all day trainings don't work?
How about my father loved what I was able to do. And he goes, why don't we just put them in a classroom for 2 weeks? I go, Dad, I would if they could learn that way. They don't. It's just like taking a plate of spaghetti and throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks. So I tried to do 4 hours of training a week, and it would be about 4 to 5 months. Sometimes I'll use the Saturday as a catch-up session for more training. I had no makeup classes. You had to have your own car and make sure you get yourself back here for these classes. And so we would do this training. It depends. Now, again, remember, we're not taking you from an apprentice to a senior tech in one giant swoop. And especially because we had multiple trades.
Yeah.
So we're trying to give you enough tasks that you won't hurt yourself or our customers, but enough that it's worthwhile. I'll give you a great truck and train you how to do our sales system, follow the manuals for the operational system, follow the manuals for the technical, and also the hands-on training we do here. So first we start nice, and then we get a whole lot rougher to imitate what goes on in real life.
Oh, right.
And
Right.
we can get you out into a truck and be better, frankly, than most of our techs that we had pulled from other companies that told us what they would and wouldn't do. And so that's bad enough, but I'm going to get to it. I knew I was going to get to it anyway, because I really can't shut up about this. I hate that all of a sudden our industry, we don't do like after 5 o'clock service. We don't do any weekend service.
I heard air conditioning systems don't break after 5.
I believe they're programmed that way, Josh.
Yeah, right. Okay.
They're programmed not to break on Saturday.
They're programmed not to break after 5. I get why you do it. You stole these two guys in the corner here, Tosh and Tersh. You had to pay them more money. You had to put up with whatever they said because you are what I was. You are a hostage. Just take a giant paint roller on a wall and write down hostage, because that's what you are.
Well, we've seen that play out in real time recently in a couple of these groups. We say recently, like the last couple of months, I've seen guys like literally they went from having a staff to no staff because the whole staff held them hostage, and they said, well, see you later. So now they're back in a truck by themselves or with like one person in the office because they didn't build the right culture. They didn't build their team the right way, and they just, hey, I'll take this guy and that, and they all come with their different priorities, and the priorities don't match what the company is trying to do. So what I think what you're saying is this, by not, you have a larger pool because you're willing to train, but then you don't have what's the word I'm looking for, the bad habits, I guess, for lack
all that ego
that they learn from
else.
other companies, and they learn from other senior techs at other places, like, oh, you got to do this or you can do this to get your way, all that like secret parking lot type stuff that happens.
I know. Yeah, my good friend Dino Malatesta, who was a great plumber, said something to me in Italian one day, and I go, Dino, I don't speak Italian. I go, what was that? He goes, oh, it's the definition of a secret. Would you like to know? And I go, I absolutely would. He goes, a secret is what you tell one person at a time until everybody knows it. And so I used to have the same parking lot meetings with, I inherited from my dad and my uncle because they were second generation. Our company started in 36. My brothers and I, my two older brothers and I, we arrived as the third generation. And now it's off to my middle brother is still there and my nephew, fourth generation. So we had all these different pay. Everybody had a deal, and it was just, and not as bad as it is today, but getting back to this 24-hour, whatever. What I was going to say is just stop for a second. And this is how I grew up. My father believed that we are servants. When you say you're a contractor, you are a servant. The best of us are servants. Yes, we get paid. We should get a great living. We sacrifice our bodies. I got a million reasons why we should get paid. But we go when they need us. There's 2,000 companies they could have called. They chose us today. We've earned that. Now, would it be okay for the two of you, if your mom's house, she's a customer of mine, and I do plumbing on the 3rd floor of a Colonial, the toilet just exploded and water is gushing all over the place, and it's 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and I go, yeah, great, we'll be there on Monday. You okay with that? Because I'm not. I'm not. And so we had shifts, and I explained, I did all the recruiting, hiring, orienting, training, retaining, the 5 steps of staffing power.
Can I ask you about shifts real quick? So,
yes, absolutely.
Because obviously we have a wide range of people that listen to this show. Is there a certain point in a company's growth pattern that they should start considering this as far as like maybe a staggered shift, or is there not really like a time when to start figuring it out?
As soon as
I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Once you pass owner operator, which means you are the one and only tech, as soon as you start putting people on, the very first shift is to try to cover from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., which we call normal service. Yeah. I brought it to existing companies and I brought it to brand new companies. The idea is the first one's 7 to 4 and the next one's 10 to 7. If any company bothers to watch the productivity of their 8 to 5 guy at the end of the afternoon at 3 o'clock, they already know how much they've made. They already know what they've done, and they're already dialing out. You just watch those tickets. So if you're a 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is the first and most important shift, Josh, that is when people, in the days when you used to go to work instead of being in front of our camera, although we're starting to return to that, that's when they're first getting home. There are two of them. They went off to work. Who is better, more our customer than them? Who values their time as much as their money? Them.
Yeah.
My ability to serve them on their schedule as if it was normal service was a big deal. Everyone that I've ever gone to, when they get the shift in the right way, and there's a right way to do it, they refer to it as the gravy shift. The gravy, not graveyard, gravy shift. And it's actually a great shift in that, why will they accept this? Because you know how guys can never take your kids to the bus stop and get them off to school in the morning? Now you can. You know how you never get to have breakfast with them? Now you can. You know how you can never take your car in for service? Now you can. You know how you can't go to a dentist appointment? Now you can. And the 10 to 7 guy takes away 2 of those extra hours that you need for on-call, that massive on-call. So it really helps.
And now, honestly,
I'm going to finish it up. In our shop, New York City Union shop, if you were the on-call tech on a freezing cold night or a really super hot night or whatever, it's busy, at 7 o'clock and you go, okay, I'm out of here, and you stick the other guy, wait till the turn comes around because we would all bury you.
Well, I was going to add to that. So because I have a history with answering the phone all day, night, weekends, and I've always noticed that first thing in the morning when people wake up, and then after they get home from work, which is like that 3 to 6 to 7, we're always like, regardless of the weather, those are always the busy times when people would call. It's like, hey, I got to get up and something's broken, or I get home from work and something's broken. And those were the times when we needed coverage. But the problem was at the time, the companies we had, I tried implementing something like this when I had like 3 guys at the company before the last one I worked at. And I didn't structure it right. And I didn't keep to it with the schedule. Like I ended up scheduling them outside of their hours because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I always love the concept of staggering shifts, but being able to sell it in a way, I shouldn't even say sell, just communicate like the benefits of someone taking a second shift and not having to come in at 7 a.m. and the things that they're able to do for their life, I think could really make it, oh, well, yeah, you're right. I can actually do those things now. So that's great. I'll take that shift. And they'll volunteer for it.
Yeah, it's a rotating shift, by the way. My father's cautioned me about there's going to be somebody coming along and say, I'll take your night shift. And when they leave, everybody else at the company is trained that we don't take the night shift. So all our shifts were rotated.
How often do you rotate it? Or how often
how many people you have, how many people you have at the company as far as your rotation. So 3 people, 7 people, 10, it depends on how much first thing is, of course, your call count being measured, which is easier today because of software. Second thing is to make sure that, when is there somebody on, because you really have to mirror having somebody who answers the phone, not the tech answering the call, because you want to screen those calls. You don't want them on just wild goose chases, 1. And 2 is you want to make sure that when you take the call, that they go out. Because I'll tell you right now, and I was the boss's kid, if I'm sitting on my favorite chair Sunday afternoon and I'm the on-call tech and the Giants are on and I'm drinking a beer and a lady calls up and says that she's got a drip from a water heater, I would probably be tempted to go, I could come out today, but it's going to be $350. But if you wait till tomorrow, we don't even charge that. Yeah.
This must have been back in the day when the Giants were actually good.
It probably was 2011. 2011. It's only 11 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
It's very long ago. No, actually, I agree with Josh. Very long.
That's hilarious.
No, that's so true though, because I realized that because there'd be weekends. I'm like, it's warm, and I see all these calls, and I'm like, nobody did anything this weekend, but the techs had the phone, and they were taking the calls, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's interesting. Oh, and all of a sudden Monday morning, I'm like, I got all these calls to schedule.
Yes,
And I got to call back.
that's
Oh
right.
yeah, we got it. And then, oh yeah, I got it done. Oh yeah, I got it done. I got it done by somebody else, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so we just totally screwed up here.
It was a great Frank Blau. He and I were at a Nexstar meeting. And of course, all the great learning takes place at 11 o'clock at night at a bar.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So he turns to me and he goes, Al, 40% of my profit comes from my ability to handle the after-hour calls like normal. I go, what? He goes, yeah, most people just take it and they do it, they half run it. We run it like a real call. And that made me go back and study the way that we were approaching our calls as well. And so we really were set up on the shift. So why aren't you doing this? I'm going to back up a little bit. You haven't committed yet. And my question to you out there is, how many times do you have to fall in the hole? Finally crawl yourself out and go, I'm not falling back in that hole. And what is the hole is you think the shortcut is to steal other people's texts. Hire experienced people instead of being willing to do what I've said here, which is take willing apprentices with no skills to willing great techs with great skills. Because that is the way to get out of this. Now, it takes systems.
Yeah.
It takes the 5 steps of staffing. It takes.
Do you think that's why people don't get there, because they don't want to put in the work to have the systems?
Oh yeah,
those things in place. And it's like in the mind, it's like, well, if I grab a guy that's got experience, I can throw him in a truck tomorrow and he can make money for me.
Yeah,
and it's just that commitment level that they're not willing to go get.
Yes, and the other silly notion that bounces around in your head, and I have a little quick story about that, is, and it's been around forever, is, well, if I train them, they'll leave. And of course, the answer is, if you don't train them, they'll stay. But that's not really it. So the story that I will share with you is when I finally committed to this, and I tried to go to class with 5 really good apprentices, and I had 5 install crews so I could bounce them around, and I had techs. I wanted, because they had to come to class with certain specific skills. I didn't have time to show you how to cut pipe or use a pro press or sweat pipe, things that I just don't have that in the time that I've got to train you on other things. I had a manual to train you. I had to train you on the sales system. I had to train you on the tasks that in the trade manual that you were approved to do. So for example, for plumber, you're just coming out of class. You're not doing a shower body. You're not breaking a tile wall in your first go. But I have no problem with the kitchen faucet, changing the toilet. So I've got to have that balance. And the same thing goes for HVAC calls or every trade that I've done. Every trade that I've done, we take that trade manual and we just mark senior tech only. But we can't go crazy on that because we got to give them a big enough briefcase. Imagine a briefcase that there's enough of them to sell and do and master with me in their training. You got it?
Yeah.
So that it's worthwhile for me to put them on. So I'm going to get to the money end because that's your whiffum plus the headache of what you're going through. Today, I can put a junior tech on in, I would say, 6 months. And usually they'll run circles around everybody that you got.
And would that person be focused on the technical side of things or converting, or because that's where, like, I feel like there's a huge split in our industry where like people say I'm a sales tech or I'm a technician, like a technical tech. I hate right.
No, hate it. My guys were primarily technical, but they were, what I trained them was to get your head up, shoulders back, and think to yourself, but don't ever say it out loud. When they came to a door, they thought to themselves, it's a good thing that these people called us instead of the 2,000 other idiots that are out there. Because no one is better trained than we are, based on our manuals, based on the training curriculum, based on this hands-on stuff that I've done in my body. And we used to do ride-alongs with them. We used to do mystery shoppers to make sure that our standards were being kept. And nobody's going to warranty better than we do because we know we don't sell bad repairs. Even if customers ask for them, we won't do it. And so I don't believe in that. And by the way, I don't believe in born salesmen either. I was awful as a salesperson when I first started, and my dad was phenomenal as a salesperson. But part of it Tersh, was we were totally different people. He was
Hmm.
very quiet. And when he would talk to customers, I would sit there and watch people lean in as he would talk. And actually, he was always had a smile on his face, not forced. He was asked great questions, proved to the people that he was listening, and he really thought of himself as a servant. I tried to do it, and I was awful. I had to learn how to be me, and I had to go to a lot of sales training. People go, well, you couldn't have been that bad or that shy. And I go, listen to me. I used to sell by looking at my shoes. And I would look at people at my shoes and go, you don't really want a new heating system, do you?
Guilty.
Every sin you can possibly imagine. But I was blessed to have great sales. I have a lot of the list of mentors in my life is just enormous, which is why I still do to this day, free 30 minutes. I don't care. Any contractor can reach out to me by email, and I will do a free 30-minute as a give back, not to them, to my mentors. So I believe, first of all, I hate the name sales. When I was doing sales power, so it's planning power, operating power, staffing power, and then typically sales power, which is a 5-step process. But I knew these guys who were the existing people who I usually did it with, they were sales phobic. So the first thing I would do is close your eyes. I promise not to steal your wallet, even though I am from New York. And then I go, close your eyes. I'm going to say a word, and you open them up. I go, salesperson. They open their eyes up, and I go, how many of you, by a show of hands, thought of a guy in a plaid suit trying to sell me a used car?
Hey, I'm in a plaid suit.
You're in a plaid vest. So the point of this, though, is they have an awful perception.
Yeah.
You are like a great waiter in a great restaurant. Your job is to make great suggestions, look at everything, and protect them against themselves from not making great decisions. And that is what I consider great sales training. So when I tell them, I call it client satisfaction training that leads to great sales.
Okay. On that entire note, so there's a couple of people, I've read books and everything, and I'm a reader, but they've said that you can't experience, or you can't share an experience that you haven't experienced yourself. So like for me to tell my team that, hey, we want to treat our clients like the Ritz-Carlton, give them the Ritz-Carlton experience, but they've never experienced Ritz-Carlton. You just mentioned a fine dining waiter sharing. If you've ever experienced that, instantly when you said that, you could relate that conversation. But a lot of my team probably haven't experienced going and spending, $500 or $1,000.
No. If they've gone to a great wedding or a great celebration, I guarantee you, because every time I've ever asked this in the middle of it, Tersh, they all go, oh yeah, I remember that place was really nice, and the napkins and the things. They've experienced,
even if not like that level, even if they found like a local place that's I go, we're not going to McDonald's today. We're going to a restaurant. I agree with you. Yeah, there's some crazy restaurants out there, which I don't know how much.
But the thing about it is like, even if you go somewhere like Ruth Chris, it's not. Yeah. I mean, it's not Longhorns, but it's an experience where it's like, okay, this isn't the norm. Like you walk in there and you're wearing a ball cap and they're going to ask you to take it off. And it's like, okay, like this is very different than what I'm used to. And like, if you're thinking like Longhorns is a good fancy meal, like I get it. Like I grew up thinking like Western sizzling was pretty good. So
I spent a lot of time in McDonald's. There was a reason I was 246 pounds instead of 192, Tersh. I totally get it.
Right.
I guarantee you somewhere along your life, you've had a better experience than a drive-through window.
Well, I just wonder if you
could even go to Chick-fil-A and have a great experience, right?
Yeah,
you do not have a great experience at Chick-fil-A.
But if you brought in if you took these people to these individuals, and you took them to that, and then they were like, oh, wow. Like,
I love that.
This is another level that like, I couldn't even imagine this level. And then
that'd be a great team building event.
That is a great, I really love that. That's a great team building thing here. No question about it.
It's like, okay, now that's what I want you to do for our clients, because our clients have never experienced Ruth Chris before. Mm-hmm. And so let's do that for them versus like saying, well, we're not bad we're better than their last experience, but I don't want to be better than their last experience. I want to be a gazillion times better than they ever expected. And I wonder if you've ever seen anybody else try that before.
I don't know. That's a great one. I've not heard that before because I'm in class and, most of them are nodding to the experience that they've had, what I was talking about. And usually I also use Starbucks as a good example. I go,
makes sense.
I travel this great country and I'm also in Canada and I'm looking for a Starbucks. And you know why? No matter whether I'm Appleton or Wisconsin or I'm down here in Arizona or if I'm in Florida, here's what I can tell you. I don't think this is the best cup of coffee I ever had, but I guarantee you it tastes like every other one that I've ever been. And the people behind the counter are really good and they're very friendly. And it doesn't act like I'm interrupting their day or they shovel the coffee at me. Right. They have good customer service training. And so that's pretty good. And out here, when I was talking to Tommy and his crew, I said, anywhere you have great customer service is where you want to recruit from. And so that's really, out here, QT is here. Circle K is, I can't put it low enough that you'll see it on the screen.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. QT. Oh, yeah. When you get out here, it's not as good as what I heard. Buc-ee's is the most phenomenal thing in Texas. But here, QT is way up here in terms of a convenience store and what breaks your mindset about, just like Chick-fil-A breaks your mindset about what could be. But the point of this whole thing is that we teach those experiences that you talk about. First we play nice. So I'll do it, you watch, you read the manual. You do it, somebody else reads the manual, I'll watch. Then we're going to play call, which is I don't let you do anything until you come and explain and sell it. So there's tips to how to build the training center. There's tips how to build the training room right. And it's how to get this training curriculum. There's a lot of pieces. We are way at 30,000 feet. But the first is mastering always recruiting, always hiring, always orienting, always training, always retaining. And if you're going to tell me that I already have great people, you are wrong, my friend, because staffing is a moving train. People hop on, people hop off. You kick them off, they jump. Some go to the end of the ride, depending on what you got to do.
Well, and that goes back to like our last episode, not our last episode, but I think the one before that, where we were talking with Josh, what's her name? Hannah.
Talking about Gen Z. That's Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah, about Gen Z, hiring Gen Z, and the mindset of they're not going to be there forever. They're not going to be there at the end of the train ride. And if you're expecting that, then you're going to be heartbroken. And to know that ahead of time and have that conversation is going to help out in the long run.
I would say that's true. And I think my experience more was in the one-to-one was millennials. And people, would tell me, I hate millennials. And they weren't really much older than millennials. People that were telling me as contractors. And I go, well, all I can tell you is I love millennials.
Yeah.
They go, why? Because I know how they work. They want to know the why, the importance of their work as much as anything else.
Yeah.
They want to see that org chart. They want to know where they are. They want to know where they're going to go. And they want to know what you are going to do to help them climb those boxes. So that's what Staffing Power is really attaching itself to, is your ability to make that a reality. Because if you can provide a career, you become the employer of choice. And so that's really, in my opinion, now, they were millennials when they started. I don't know what they are anymore, Jared, but all across this country, the companies I've worked with are loaded with millennials, and I guarantee Gen Zs and everybody else is there. And if the game is interesting enough, it'll happen. So the quick story I forgot to mention is a friend was out who works for a big giant tech company, and I'm explaining about what I'm going to talk and share with you about, which is staffing. And he goes, aren't they afraid that if you train them, they'll leave because you made them too valuable? I started to laugh. I said, so you want your guys doing all your coding and programming to not be trained by you? I said, You have to offer a career. You have to offer great job opportunities to keep on moving, or they're right to jump ship when things come on.
Well, people like that. I mean, just in my experience, like talking to my team, I had them give me a list, every single person, of what they want to be trained on, so I can start coming up with my own curriculum. Because I'm still new to this digital marketing. I don't know what they want to be trained on. Like, I know a lot of stuff, but I don't know what they don't know. And they want, like, the feedback we got from doing a couple one-on-ones was training. It was like the common theme. We want training. We want more, because even if it's not with us, they do want to further their careers somewhere. But if they can further their career here and help the business in the meantime, then either way, it's a win-win and everybody wins. But we can't look at it like you're not shackling these people up. Like, they're gonna leave at some point. It's the fact of life. Unless they're like a key person somewhere, they're probably going to leave because they want to be that key person somewhere else.
Well, in the tech particular world, there's apprentice, junior tech, senior tech, and then field supervisor, where, by the time you get to 40 as a tech, I can promise you, you don't see as well, you don't hear as well, your knees don't talk to you in the way they did when you were young. And if you worked in the field, I actually do this as the sales thing. I go, you think we charge too much? Come on, just you and me. And we laugh. And I go, so tell me, put your hands up. How many guys have been in the field 10 years or more? Put your hands down if your knees and back and everything else feels exactly like it did 10 years ago, and every hand is still up. Yeah, no, everybody's feeling like they're a wreck. And so we don't see it. But this senior tech to field supervisor is a bad name in that they don't ride around all day. Mm-hmm. They help their team. They're the first line of support so that the service manager doesn't become a choke point and the install manager doesn't become a choke point on the install wing. And that, yes, if you do all this training ahead of time, you have less calls. If you have the manuals in place and the training curriculum, all the rest, and the hands-on training center, they don't need as much babysitting in the field, which is very hard to do. But there's still stuff comes up. Their first call or text or whatever is to their field supervisor. If they get stuck, they get freed up to go. So people love this idea from me, but they do it all wrong. They go, Josh is a good tech. Let's make him a field supervisor. Now, all of a sudden, he's a boss. And the only judge that he has a boss is he once watched the movie Horrible Bosses. He goes, so
great movie, by the way.
Yes, it is a great movie. You're the most miserable SOB, or you watch something else where you want to be everybody's buddy. And neither one of them are right. So appointing somebody is really awful. Bringing somebody from outside your company and bypassing everybody is the second giant sin. So the goal is to move them up and let them, here's the 3 steps, which is part of the staffing program. So there's the 5 steps of staffing. There's apprentice to junior tech and junior tech to senior tech, phase 2. And phase 3 is when you get to 8 to 12 service techs running every day, or 3 to 5 install crews, you've earned the right to have field supervisors. And they have to qualify, compete, and then you train them. None of them, just like me, I was not a born salesman. I certainly was not a born field supervisor or manager for that matter. They have to be trained up, and that takes resources. So that is part of this signature staffing systems that builds on the back of the manuals. That makes sense?
Yeah. Tersh and I have talked about because a lot of times, and I've had this happen at companies I've been at, I'm sure Tersh can relate to this too, is we have the top sales tech, right? The top revenue producer becomes the service manager, and they are so unqualified for that position. They think they're going to make more money and life's going to be easier, and they have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And
because they're underqualified. Now they're not a revenue generator anymore. Now they become an overhead expense.
They actually hurt the business doing that more than anything.
That's the Peter principle. But also, even if they were quote unquote qualified, perception is reality, right? So they pick Josh instead of me and Tersh. Well, the two of us go, of course he picked Josh. They bowl together. They go fishing together. I never had a shot. Whether it's true or not, which is why qualify, compete, and train. And yes, it's what I've been doing for years and years and years and years. Is, in my opinion, the only fair way and the right way that they win, the people they support win, and you win. And the last thing I'm going to leave on this is it is a rented position. It says it right there in the field supervisor manual. So in other words, you own that position for a quarter at a time when you come through the training.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why you own it for a quarter at a time is you can't fail here and sabotage your team. So I have every incentive as a service manager, install manager, owner to get you good or get you back to the box you came from. And people think, well, they'll quit. And they do not if you do it right. Because they're actually the next time, and we're always going to do this as we go and grow and open up. I used to send my field supervisors off to run my spoke shops because who else is better qualified to take the systems? Sorry, go ahead, Tersh.
No. I agree with you 100%. So if you're considering offering or opening up shops in other areas, then it sounds like this is the solution for you not having to be the person that goes there and does all this manually.
Well, you should still stop in and visit. But yes, that's who I would export to these places. And again, they've come up the ranks. So they know you're, and again, I call it sales training, but it's really client satisfaction training. The manuals operational and the technical training so that they can go there and replicate it. And they've already moved up that they can sell more than a tech, but less than a system advisor. And then some of these guys who move up there can move over to that wing and become your next best system advisor. My guys were system advisors. We used to pride ourselves. We weren't selling Buicks yesterday, and now we sell boilers. These guys actually knew it. And when they sat in front of customers, they didn't have to hammer on it. Any other people that had been in front of them, our guys were here, and everybody else they experienced was here.
So
it makes a big difference when they actually know. People can tell when somebody knows their shit versus somebody who's like trying to memorize something.
Yeah, I got my speech. Wait, hold on a second. You're all script for a second. Hang on. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, it's obvious when you do that, and I've practiced on people before. Like I've gone into the conversation and said, "Hey, let me practice on you. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I'm going to take care of you, but I want to practice on you." Like they were close friends and stuff, and they were like
close friends. And my wife was my best customer.
Yeah, they were like, "Give me this option, but you did that horribly." Like, okay, thanks.
Did you bring a bottle of bourbon with you? When you...
By the way, here you go. Here's your bottle of bourbon.
I actually have the management team kind of do practicing, like kind of what you talked about. But I always advocate to these guys about if you want to get better at sales training, I would tell you that like what I did is I used to practice with Natalie, telling her to be, the tough customer, Natalie being my wife. Yeah. And she was happy to play tough customer. Trust me.
I'm sure she enjoyed it.
Oh, she enjoyed it. And but she represented a lot of what my ideal customers were. And so it was really great training. But as I mentioned it, like in the training center, we did a lot of that, Tersh.
Yeah.
So even the system advisors are trained up on the same kind of 5-step sales process, just tilted a little bit to fit system advisor bigger tickets. But they need to come into the training center and sell me this.
So let me ask you about this. So, golly, there's a sales process out there that is Sandler sales process. And that is the more technical knowledge you gain, the worse you become at sales. Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of it. And looking at my face, you can tell how much I love that.
I only say that.
I will share.
Okay.
I created a lot of callbacks because when I first came out as a tech, once I learned the lingo, I loved showing you how smart I was and how stupid you are.
Yeah.
And magically, I didn't do very well at sales. Go figure.
Right. Yeah.
Until I learned, and not to dumb it down, but I had to build a bridge from what they knew to what I was trying to share. So when I would talk about outdoor weather reset controls, and I could tell you about the ohms and how it measures the outside temperature and controls the boiler water. Are you lost yet? So I would go, hey, like when you're in your car and you set the cruise control, how it knows to go up high, faster when it's going up a hill and it backs off when it's going down. That's exactly what the outdoor reset control does. So now I took something that to help explain something that's technical. Mm-hmm. I don't sell on that. The smarter I got on technical, I totally don't believe in that as a long-term strategy. Now, if you're successful with it, I never argue with success. but I do care about the myths you may be teaching. I have
Yeah.
taught some really great technical people already technically good how to be much better
at sales.
Sales and client satisfaction. And when I keep on saying that is because I'm not interested in sales at the sacrifice of client satisfaction. I'm not interested in client satisfaction with lousy sales. They are together. Every time I ever did my sales system, not that mine was so much better than anybody else, but they bought into it and they believed it because it was authentic. And so both of them rise.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I read the Sandler's book, and I had what you call it. Oh man, I'm having a brain fart right now. The confirmation bias. I had confirmation bias in the fact that this book was telling me something that I could see it happening in the field. Like I was trying, it was more of like, instead of me trying to find a solution, I was trying to find something that matched what I'm seeing in the field.
You had a hammer and you were just looking for a nail.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so,
again, there's a spectrum and a good way that we're not real. My systems are not designed to turn people into robots. Believe it or not, they're designed to give freedom. And there's freedom when you don't give them 1,000 steps to remember.
Yeah.
When, these main steps, and we made an acronym up for it. So there was, 5 steps, and that's kind of it. Anything more than that, it was kind of lost. Most of that came intuitively. But really, staffing, your best chance to have great techs, which means for a service tech, you have great sales, operation, technical skills. And for an installer, great communication, operation, technical, which you've heard 1,000 times from me. This is where it really comes to life. And that's where they climb in a truck and go serve customers better than anybody you got. Mm-hmm. They get better reviews than anybody you got. They will do what you want. They are neat and clean. Their truck is neat and clean. Their job site's neat and clean. And they're going to bring you 300 to 500,000, depending on what you do. So if you graduate with 5 techs, I would shoot for 3. I could bring as much as $1 million to $1.5 million to your company in a year. Now, if you do it twice in a year, then the money gets really stupid good. Would you agree?
I agree.
And by the way, believe it or not, their callbacks go down because you think experienced guys aren't going to generate callbacks. But what you're missing is in staffing power, the whole idea is to follow the manuals to minimize callbacks. Follow the exit checklist to minimize callbacks. And if you can't do it here with me, I guarantee you're not doing it in the field, no matter how much they try to BS you.
Okay, so let me ask you this in concluding. Where do we find the perfect apprentice for this program?
Yeah, so anywhere you experience great service. Nowadays, it's different. So you got to go fishing where the fish are. In my personal opinion and what I've done with companies today, by the way, social media is one of the best places for you to be recruiting these young people. 21 and a little bit up from that. Young, willing apprentices with no skills. Anywhere you experience, like I mentioned to you, Josh, QT, anywhere you go to a convenience store, anywhere you go to a restaurant, any customer service face front is good. But if you have a young, willing tech that you built yourself, you shoot up as many videos as you can. Get them out on TikTok and every other social media platform. And I cover some of this in the program. That is the best way for you to go fishing and every way that you can. But like you guys know, marketing takes a budget. So there's got to be a budget for always recruiting, always hiring, always orienting, always training. And the last button, which we missed here, is always retaining. Here's the piece that I will share with you, Tersh. If I do those first 4 steps, they pretty much never left me. I never pretty much lost. And my guys were being pirated away in the .com era. I pretty much lost no one because what you guys hit on before, Josh, when you were mentioning it, they love great training. They love seeing themselves get better. They love filling this box.
Knowing the path.
Yes, they do.
There's a path for them in their future.
And they love knowing the why. You cannot share the why too often, both the why of what we do and how that benefits you.
That's good.
No, that's a great point to end on.
Dude,
Is there, so I know you have
awesome.
I know you have a page. Do you want to share the page to go find some more information about the signature staffing system?
Yes, and it's flashing across the screen here. It's the number 7 powercontractor.com/S as in Sam 3. And then you can spend some time on that page because I pretty much put everything in here. It's very intensive. It's 3 phases. I really unpack the 5 steps of staffing power. Then what you really want, which is how do I take these young apprentices and get them to be good junior techs? How do I get junior techs to be senior techs? And phase 3, when you graduate, like I was saying, and now you're ready for service field supervisor, install field supervisor. How do I do it the right way, Al? Like the way you told me.
Dude,
Love
good.
it. That's great stuff. Awesome. Is there anything else that we didn't get to that you wanted to add, Al?
No, I'm so passionate about this. And I will share, because I think I was mentioning to you guys is
I had no idea.
You had no idea that I'm passionate. Yeah. Well, Josh actually said to me, be on fire today. How did I do?
You did pretty good. You open the window and it's 110 in there.
I'm hot. There are 6 testimonials from 6 of my clients who went through the staffing power system. And the reason there are only 6 is because I only called 6 of them. They have all the great techs that they ever needed right now. So don't tell me about yesteryear or that's not working anymore. Anything else you want to do. You can deny all you want, my friends. But this is the path.
Yeah.
This is what I believe will change your life.
And those testimonials, and Al's got a bunch of stuff on there. So those testimonials are on that the link
right on that same page. Go to that link.
Yep.
Spend your time on the page. You'll see what I'm speaking to.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Al, we appreciate it, man. As always, you always add a ton of value.
Thank you, my friend.
If you are not in our Facebook group, join our Facebook group, the Service Business Mastery Facebook group, and Al's in there, always dropping tons of value.
I'm always stalking.
Always stalking. We welcome it, honestly.
Way to end the show on a creepy note.
Yeah, right. No, it's
no creepy photos or anything, please.
No, it's good because when we start on a topic and then all of a sudden Al is like, well, here's my take on that. And I love the fact that it's not a bunch of yes man. You know what I mean? It's not a bunch of, oh yeah, yep. It's, well, I understand how that works, but this is my take on how it would work. And then it becomes a conversation, and it's amazing what comes out of that. So if you're not in our group,
keep the BS away in the group. Like honestly, it's
I know
very
you
good
guys,
conversation.
I know you guys work hard, and this is not a plug for you guys, but I love what you do in the Facebook group because we should be the last people attacking each other. There's plenty of people out there who have catch a contractor or anything else of that nature.
Yeah,
we should be supportive. And I'm not just saying that. I think we should be supportive. We can fervently disagree. Sandler may call me up and just yell at me for what I just said, and I'll take it. I'm not saying if it's working, if the Sandler system's working for you, please keep doing it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't sit with your soul right after what I've shared, there are other great sales training systems out there.
Yep. 100%. Cool, man. We appreciate it. If anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Also, if you're listening to this, tons of value. If you would not mind leaving a review on the Apple, it's not always easy to leave an Apple review, but Apple, any of the podcast catchers, leave us a 5-star review. If you're not going to leave 5 stars, then don't worry about it.
I have left the 5-star,
and we do appreciate that, Al. With that said, that being said, I hope you have a wonderful and safe week until we talk again next time on the Service Business Mastery Podcast. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.